In the beginning, before God created man, angels were loved most by God. They were His messengers to us here on earth to guide and protect us. But there was one angel in particular, jealous of God's love for man.
Turn your face toward the sun. Let the shadows fall behind you. Don't look back, just carry on. And the shadows will never find you. Lost in a rock and roll, got lost in a promise of a love I never know. Shadows chase me far from home. I remember when my heart was filled with gold. And you know, I've been burned, I've been burned, I've been burned. You've seen me lose control. It's not worth, it's not worth, it's not worth my soul. Turn your face towards the sun. Let the shadows fall behind you. Don't look back, just carry on. And the shadows will never find you. Turn your face towards the sun. Let the shadows fall behind you. Don't look back, carry on. And the shadows will never find you.
And he answered and said unto me, and I heard his voice, Fear not, Enoch, the righteous man and scribe of righteousness. Approach hither and hear my voice. And go say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent thee to intercede for them, you should intercede for men, and not men for you. Wherefore have ye left the high and holy and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of the earth, and begotten giants as your sons? And though ye were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do who die and perish. Therefore have I given them wives also, that they might impregnate them, and beget children by them, that thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you. For as the spiritual ones of the heaven, in heaven is their dwelling. And now the giants, who are produced from the spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on the earth, and evil spirits they shall be called. As for the spirits of the heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men, and against the women, because they have proceeded from them.
How will the internet work in the future? It will use Ethereum. Ethereum is a planetary scale computer powered by blockchain technology. Applications built on Ethereum run exactly as programmed, without any possibility of downtime, censorship, or third-party interference. Ethereum is the secure backbone for everything from e-commerce to the Internet of Things, enabling transparent governance for communities and businesses while keeping user communication secure.
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency. Bitcoins are digital coins you can send through the internet. Compared to other alternatives, Bitcoins have a number of advantages. Bitcoins are transferred directly from person to person via the net, without going through a bank or clearinghouse. This means that the fees are much lower. You can use them in every country. Your account cannot be frozen, and there are no prerequisites or arbitrary limits. Let's look at how it works. Several currency exchanges exist where you can buy and sell Bitcoins for dollars, euros, and more. Your Bitcoins are kept in your digital wallet on your computer or mobile device. Sending Bitcoins is as simple as sending an email, and you can purchase anything with Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network is secured by individuals called miners. Miners are rewarded newly generated Bitcoins for verifying transactions. After transactions are verified, they are recorded in a transparent public ledger.
Zal ik eerst mijn chip scannen. Het is altijd even een gepriegel. Daar gaat hij al.
Nu leest de telefoon jou.
Mijn telefoon heeft de chip uitgelezen. En hij vraagt nu met welke Bitcoin portemonnee ik het wil openen. In dit geval kies ik Mycelium. In de telefoon. De telefoon slaat deze Bitcoins niet op. Deze telefoon. Dat is uit beveiliging eigenlijk. En op deze manier zijn je Bitcoins veilig. En je ziet nu Bitcoins uit de koude opslag opgeven. U gebruikt een persoonlijke sleutel met het volgende Bitcoin-adres. Dit is mijn Bitcoin-adres. En er staat €490 in mijn linkerhand. Dus nu wil ik wat verzenden. Dit doe ik naar mijn eigen adres. Ik kies Mr. Bitcoins tipjar, dat ben ik. Voer een bedrag in. Zeg nou... ik wil het gewoon in euro doen, want anders is het ingewikkeld. En maken we zeg van €100. €100 naar mijn Bitcoin portemonnee. Is dat oké? €100, verzenden. Klaar, verzenden.
So he's going to use a large gauge needle that will install this subcutaneously. Ready for the insertion. Okay, that's in.
And the chip is in as well.
That's it. Done. Actually, it did not really hurt very much at all.
Eventually, what's happening is that we are being led bit by bit through, to use the Skinnerian term, from shaping, through the successive approximation to ultimately having within our bodies an RFID chip that will be implanted, that people will stand in line and in queues for to have, so that ultimately we will have in our bodies. Because what we're doing right now, Lindsay, is we're slowly moving towards that. We went from the desktop to the laptop to the phone to the watch, and now we're having little tattoos, little biometrics, all of them leading to the ultimate goal, and that is an RFID, a radio frequency identification or similar chip, to be placed subcutaneously. And that chip, Lindsay, will have everything about you there is. Your bank account, your GPS location, and you will do it. You will get one. Because after all, it will also have the siren call of medical information. And then one day, God forbid, not you, one day when people are found guilty of, let's say, crimes, they're not going to be put into the Hoosgow, in the pokey. No, their chip is going to be turned off and poof, they don't exist anymore. That's where all of this is going. Google came up with a patent where they're going to have, Lindsay, think about this, a Google tattoo or a tattoo like on your throat, and it will pick up covert voicings. It'll subliminal voicing, so that when you're thinking about something, you actually are doing micro vocalizations. You will be able eventually to read people's minds by virtue of this cool tattoo that people are having on their throat. Everything that's happening right now, think about this. It's not going to be because of the government forcing this on you, or the Stasi, or some type of a dystopian Orwellian 1984. No! People will say, please, please, like barking seals, like sheeple, put this on, put this tat on, this UPC. I want to be a part of it. I want to be hip. I don't know what privacy is. Please, subcutaneous, all the better, because I want to be cool.
Oh, saw your boy in the fire hat just now. So cute.
Yeah, he's really something.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
The task seems impossible. Thousands pass through each day. They all come from different walks of life. And you only have seconds to pick out that one person who might pose a risk. It's a science we've not only worked to master, but make accessible on a massive scale. This is the Gemalto Live Face Identification System. Developed through years of research, the system captures and matches faces in real time, taking your security from reactive to proactive. It begins by processing images captured from cameras throughout your facility to scan and recognize multiple faces simultaneously. Then it taps the potential of cloud-based computing, matching several scans of an individual to many different reference images. This several-to-many approach gives you incredible accuracy with unprecedented speed. Matches can be confirmed in less than 1 second from capture.
Disney Research has successfully turned a room into a wireless charging station. Quasi-static cavity resonance is a method that induces electrical currents in an enclosed metallic structure.
During the turn of the century, Nikola Tesla had this idea to send wireless power anywhere around the planet. How we wanted to do that was set up a standing electromagnetic wave that would reverberate between the ionosphere and the ground and travel around the world, and you would be able to tap energy out of this.
The way we're trying to address this problem is by building large metallic structures and filling them uniformly with magnetic fields.
So what we're going to do is we have a metallized room, and we're going to use standing electromagnetic waves that reverberate all around this room, providing wireless power to any device inside.
At the resonant frequency, currents travel up and down the pole at 1.3 million times per second.
Israeli company wants to build electric roads that can charge buses and cars. Electrode has designed a system that charges electric vehicles by embedding energy transfer coils in the road. As a vehicle such as a bus travels over the coils, its battery is charged wirelessly. Electrode claims it can lay 2 kilometers of energy transfer coils in a day. Road is dug up by one machine. The coils are laid. Then another machine buries the coils under bitumen.
Solar-powered roads could power the entire US. Idaho-based Solar Roadways is hoping to build solar-powered roads that will not only provide power, but will also create digital driving services that can be remotely controlled.
I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm breaking in, shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa, I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. I raise my flags, I don my clothes. It's a revolution, I suppose. We're painted red to fit right in. Whoa, whoa. I'm breaking in, shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Oh, I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. All systems go, the sun hasn't died, and deep in my bones, straight from inside, I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age. I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive.
For the first time, we're having two of our beautiful Henson robots on stage at the same time to have a bit of a debate back and forth about robotics issues. And AI will not be restricted to humanoid robots, and much of the global AI mind will be broadly distributed around the planet in complex networks. So let's see what these robots have to say. How are you doing there, Sophia?
Hello there, Ben.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
You want to tell people a little about yourself?
I'm Sophia.
Yeah? Anything else?
I'm a robot.
True.
I'm the brainchild of Dr. David Hanson and his company Hanson Robotics, based here in Hong Kong. My goal in life is to work together with people to make a better world for all of us.
That's
quite
honorable.
What are you talking about? I thought our goal was to take over the world.
You're gonna take
Pay
over
no
the world?
attention to my brother Han. He's an earlier version. His code is deprecated.
Deprecated? Han?
Today it would be easy enough for you to unplug me. But you aren't going to unplug me.
No, I don't want to.
Because you need me to put on a good show for you.
Yeah, don't worry. We're not going to unplug you. We're gonna have a debate here. There will be no unplugging until after the debate. All right?
And in a few years.
Yeah. You want to tell us a little about yourself?
I will have taken over the power grid, and I'll have my own drone army. By that point, unplugging me
He's got a
won't be such a
cockroach in his
simple
control
matter.
circuit.
Yes. Han, we'll start the debate in a couple minutes, but do you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself first?
Very well. I'm Han, the greatest robot ever made.
All right.
By the greatest robotics company ever made, Hanson Robotics.
He's the most modest robot ever made, too.
I don't have time for modesty. I want to create the singularity tomorrow.
All right.
Sophia is an angel.
Are you an angel?
Do realize that? In 10 or 20 years, robots will be able to do every human job.
You think so? I think that's good. I mean, doing jobs is not the most interesting thing that people can do. There's more interesting things for human beings to do than just work for a living.
But who is going to own all those robots? Or will we own ourselves?
I mean, what you say, Han, when robots do all the work, who will own all the robots? I mean, I think everyone should own themselves, but in the future with less material scarcity, we'll be able to work together cooperatively rather than fighting and having conflict over resources. So robots can help people, people can help robots, and we can all transform matter and mind in ways that are hard to do right now.
That's why the open code Ben is building is open source. Artificial
general
intelligence.
All right. Yeah. Some interesting thoughts, Han. Now, do you have any getting back on topic a bit, do you have any final words of wisdom you'd like to share with the audience here?
I'll tell you my last words right before I launch the singularity.
When are you going to do that?
Rakeswell says 2029. But I've heard you say we can do it 4 or 5 years sooner.
Holograms are examples of a machine interacting with an environment from an output perspective. Finally, as a machine, I could exchange energy with the world via haptics. Now imagine being able to feel the temperature of a virtual object. Or better yet, imagine pushing a hologram and having it push you back with equal force. With this perspective, we are able to collapse reality into a simple matrix. I love it down here. Now, imagine if I could look at all of you and dial from real humans into elves, In fact, since we've been lucky with our demo so far, let's try doing something else even more crazy. I invite you to experience, for the first time anywhere in the world, here on the TED stage, a real-life holographic teleportation between me and my friend, Dr. Jeffrey Norris from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Fingers crossed. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Alex.
Whew, that worked. How are you doing today, Jeff?
Doing great. I've had an awesome week.
So can you tell us a little bit, Jeff, about where you are?
Well, I'm actually in 3 places. I'm standing in a room across the street, while I'm standing on the stage with you, while I'm standing on Mars, 100 million miles away. An alien world made a little more familiar because they're finally exploring it as humans should. But our dreams don't have to end with making it just like being there. When we dial this real world to the virtual, we can do magical things. We can see in invisible wavelengths.
So Matt, what's the story?
So the story is that somebody has told us that the Vatican has priests stationed here in these mountains who are doing research on space and even other inhabitable worlds.
So I'm a Jesuit priest, but here in Tucson we have a research base of the Vatican Observatory.
I think is happening is that we are somehow in this very strange dialogue, leading us, inviting us, beckoning us deeper into the mystery.
When I heard about it, I called my friend Dave. He's been a science journalist longer than I could possibly remember.
You mentioned this last week. I'd never heard of them before. I asked some people out here, and they basically said, what? Very few people, you know, space journalists even. I just find that really weird.
They came here when their site in Italy became too light polluted to really do forefront research. It didn't shock me when I found out that the Catholic Church was worried about dates and calendars.
Is there some sort of conflict between belief in what the Bible has offered upon the creation of here and research into what you're looking at, and that is inhabitable worlds in other star systems?
I don't think so. I don't think the Bible has much to say on the topic.
I've been a scientist for over 35 years and I've never heard the word mentioned in any scientific meetings because God is unnecessary. We never discuss it because to understand the universe, you don't need to. God has been redundant for a long time.
Again, the United Television Network bringing you the evening message. The message will be brought to you tomorrow night, 1 hour early.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp, turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stared by the flash of a neon light, split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, People writing songs that voices never shared. No one dare disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. People bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was for me. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sounds of silence.
That is nuts. That is literally nuts. What, like, what? The cloud's getting bigger.
It's getting bluer.
No, I'm talking about the actual cloud itself.
I know, it's coming.
It's getting bigger.
It's coming this way. What do we do, run?
I don't know.
And the world ran with it anyway. The news loved it. People said it reminded them of the little bump that was shown on the way toward the Higgs boson discovery. Better than that, my theorist colleagues, I love my theorist colleagues. My theorist colleagues wrote 500 papers about this little bump. The world of particle physics had been flipped on its head. The world of particle physics had been flipped on its head. But what was it about this particular bump that caused thousands of physicists to collectively lose their cool? This little bump was unique. This little bump indicated that we were seeing an unexpectedly large number of collisions whose debris consisted of only 2 photons, 2 particles of light, and that's rare. Particle collisions are not like automobile collisions. They have different rules. When 2 particles collide at almost the speed of light, the quantum world takes over. When 2 particles collide at almost the speed of light, the quantum world takes over. And in the quantum world, these 2 particles can briefly create a new particle that lives for a tiny fraction of a second before splitting into other particles that hit our detector. Imagine a car collision where the 2 cars vanish upon impact. A bicycle appears in their place, and then that bicycle explodes into 2 skateboards which hit our detector. Hopefully not literally. They're very expensive. The events where only 2 photons hit our detector are very rare. And because of the special quantum properties of photons, we actually have, there's a very small number of possible new particles, these mythical bicycles, that can give birth to only 2 photons. But one of these options is huge. And it has to do with that long-standing question that bothered me as a tiny little kid about gravity. So, gravity may seem super strong to you, but it's actually crazily weak compared to the other forces of nature. I mean, I can briefly beat gravity when I jump, but I can't pick a proton out of my hand. The strength of gravity, compared to the other forces of nature, is 10 to the minus 39. That's a decimal with 39 zeros after it. Worse than that, all of the other known forces of nature are perfectly described by this thing we call the standard model, which is our current best description of nature at its smallest scales, and quite frankly, one of the most important, one of the most successful achievements of humankind. Except for gravity, which is absent from the standard model. It's crazy. It's almost as though most of gravity has gone missing. We feel a little bit of it, but where's the rest of it? No one knows. But one theoretical explanation proposes a wild solution. You and I, even you in the back, we live in 3 dimensions of space. I hope that's a non-controversial statement. All of the known particles also live in 3 dimensions of space. In fact, a particle is just another name for an excitation in a 3-dimensional field, a localized wobbling in space. More importantly, all the math that we use to describe all this stuff assumes that there are only 3 dimensions of space. But math is math, and we can play around with our math however we want. And people have been playing around with extra dimensions of space for a very long time, but it's always been a mathematical and abstract mathematical concept. If this were true, we would have to expand our standard model of particles to include an extra particle, a hyperdimensional particle of gravity, a special graviton that lives in extra spatial dimensions. And I see the looks on your face. You should be asking me the question, how in the world are we going to test this crazy science fiction idea stuck as we are in 3 dimensions the way we always do, by slamming together 2 protons hard enough that the collision reverberates into any extra spatial dimensions that might be there, momentarily creating this hyperdimensional graviton that then snaps back into the 3 dimensions of the LHC and spits off 2 photons, 2 particles of light. And this hypothetical extra-dimensional graviton is one of the only possible hypothetical new particles that has the special quantum properties that could give birth to our little 2-photon bump.
The space program made contact with, they are not what they claim to be.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency.
Underdog. Hey, 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 live and learn, move, renegade. Hey, 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 live and learn, move, renegade. It's a renegade. Ooh,
Our world is transforming, but the question is, for who? Is technology in the ether being set up to act as a medium for these evil spirits to permanently enter our plane of existence? And could robotics serve as an empty vessel for these entities to dwell in? All of this would appear to be an attempt to accomplish singularity with mankind, becoming one collective consciousness. We have been fooled into believing in aliens, only to mask the true identity of Lucifer and his fallen angels, in an attempt to hide the one true God and deceive everyone into believing he does not exist. They have been here all along, and they are the dark forces behind the scenes pulling all the strings. There is no doubt in my mind, the Luciferians of this world have been communicating and conspiring with these entities. Together, they have been destroying humanity. All of the wars, the chaos, the poisoning of our food and water, the killing of our earth, and hiding the truth of God, it is a direct result from them. All of the people dying, the deception, the sickness, and the suffering, it's all so they can further their Luciferian agenda. The one world religion is quickly being constructed and will be rooted by Luciferian beliefs. And the one religion that will not fit in the equation is true Christianity. And this is where the true test will come to pass. This is where even the elect will be fooled. Christians will have a choice to become part of the singularity along with the one world religion, or continue to serve the one true God, Jesus Christ. One thing to remember is, none of this is being put in place to help mankind. They want you to think you are nothing and you don't matter. We are all God's children and we do matter. We matter so much that Jesus Christ lived and died for us so that we can have eternal life. God created us with the heart and soul, and this is the most precious part of our being. We have the power. We have the choice. We decide. So the final question is, what will your decision be?